Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.
And this one's also for Eddie.
Whee!
This one's for Eddie as well. I'm going to open this up. Or try to.
Thank you, Eddie.
This is not very rock and roll, but I can't actually open this beer.
All right.
I'm sorry. Do you want, I'll chuck it to you.
Brendon, how you doing? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me here, guys.
No worries,
Lovely
man.
to see you both.
Thanks for coming. It's been pretty shitty weather.
Yeah.
Well, it only just came on, but yeah,
I called it. I called
You
the
called
weather.
it?
I called it.
Okay.
I called it a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I saw those clouds with the little hooks on the end, and I said, rain's coming in a couple of days, and my workmate didn't believe me. He said,
Yeah.
you're full of shit. I'm like, okay.
There it is. It's here to settle for a few days.
Why didn't he believe you?
Well, I don't know. Good, because the weather forecast said sunny.
Good duck weather. So they say.
Oh, can you pull the mic just a little bit higher? Sorry, I should have done that before.
How's that?
This is rock and roll. Yeah, cool. You want to talk
Yeah.
just right on top? Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Now we can hear you. That's amazing. Yes, thanks for coming down, man. You're a busy man. It took quite a few goes to get this together, but I really wanted to do it.
Persistence paid off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I know you probably fed up with me emailing you, but
Never.
no.
Never. Good fella like yourself. No, never tire of it.
Oh, thanks, man. We go way back, right? This whole crew here, we've known each other, what, 15
Yeah.
years?
Yeah. Almost last century. That's how long ago it is. We're showing our age there, but we're on a good moisturising plan for our skin, and
That's right. I know, man. I was actually going to say that. I hope this doesn't come across as weird, but you're one of those dudes that look exactly the fucking same.
Yeah, well, I had a sponsorship with L'Oreal many years ago and Max Factor, but the contract ran out. But I still had a lot of leftovers. No, that's not it.
Yeah, man. Well, Asian don't raisin, so I'm also... It's going to be like, 50, 60 years of looking like this, and
awesome.
then Mr. Miyagi straight away.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
I'm the only one that's aged.
I wasn't going to say it.
I was going to
Now
say
you
it.
mentioned
but-
it, yeah.
I lost a bit of hair.
Yeah.
That's about it. So.
That's about it. Yeah, but man, this is so awesome. It's like a bit of a reunion, man.
It is.
You played your first show with my old band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just mentioning that before. Many years ago, 2004 or 5 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And still got fond memories of that gig. Yeah.
Yeah, that whole period was awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to. There was no Facebook at the time. Well, I think Facebook was very new. Probably not even around.
MySpace would have been the thing
MySpace
back
and
then.
perthbands.com, wasn't it?
Oh, what a gem that was.
Perthbands.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forums for the win.
Yeah.
The times have changed. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all those days. Yeah, very fond memories of that. Smoking a lot of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Smoking a lot of cigarettes, drinking a lot of beer.
A lot of alcohol, a lot of cigarettes, but somehow through all of that, still remember back that far.
Yeah, all the venues that have come and gone as well throughout that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a lot
of
of changes, but I think the Perth scene has grown for the better since then, It's more venues. I don't know. It's a different vibe out there now. Yeah.
Does it feel more organised? Because I remember back when we were playing the shows, it felt like we were a bit of chaos of everyone trying to just...
I think it's the old thing. You get used to doing things and organising shows and seeing crew, and you just get better at it, So
I think, I can run away. Was it easier to get gigs back in those days and book venues as it is now, or is it harder to... I don't know, because I used to put on events and I used to book gigs and stuff, and I haven't done that for years, so I don't know what if it's
it's still
the same.
Yeah, no, it's still reasonable to get gigs now, but I think it's the longer you do it, the more profile you get to your name. So if you're hitting up a reputable venue, they're more than likely to get back to you. Otherwise, back in the day, you'd be doing the Railway Hotel and Swan Basement and things like that. And they'd be the only ones willing to give you a go. But, as you build relationships with, venue managers and booking agents and stuff like that, it does get easier. Yeah.
Those venues you could sock and it didn't matter because no one would be there to...
Yeah, well, places like the Castle,
So many bands came out of the Castle.
Yeah.
So many good bands.
Well, you get a DVD of your performance as well.
That's right. Yeah,
That's a winner right there.
Yeah.
You can see how bad you sucked.
Yeah. Review it afterwards and go, shit, did I really sound like that?
Yeah. But as much as, you kind of need those venues though.
That's how you cut your teeth. You get the experience, you get better at it.
Yeah.
And, but... It's a good scene out there now, I think. Yeah.
I remember just getting a show, just being ecstatic, just having a show.
Yeah.
Being booked anywhere, like, we get to have a time slot and we can play. Like, I remember just being so, like, my mind was blown by that idea that we get that time,
Oh, you just get that. It's that old passion of youth and excitement. And I think it's just trying to keep those excitement levels up as the years go by.
Exactly, yeah.
And not letting the mundane stuff that happens in the weekly world get to you and just keeping the drive, which gets hard over time.
It does. But you're right, you got to keep that spot. You got to not get jaded.
Yeah.
It's very easy in any sort of creative or performance related industry where you
it's
just
like anything. I mean, you fall into the trap of just doing the same old all the time and you don't push yourself, you don't challenge yourself, and you end up watching The Bachelorette or something rubbish like that, and that's what you get off on for the week. And for myself, no, that's not me. I'd rather be playing music or putting on shows or going to gigs and stuff like that. It's a lot more exciting and socializing. Getting out there and talking to people. And I think with social media, people are quick to send through a PM or a private message or a text or something like that, and they think that's the way to keep communications between people alive. But there's nothing better than getting in front of people, having a beer, catching up and face to face and having a few laughs. And
it took me a while to realize that I didn't have to stick to one thing. And I really battled with that for a while because I felt like I needed to, even though it wasn't working, like whether it be a genre or whatever, felt that I had to stick with it. I've got to commit. I've already committed. I've got to commit to it. But you don't. You can change.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, for example, I'd never imagine you in a band like Catan.
Yeah, exactly right. I'd always been a fan of electronic music and dance music and disco and stuff like that, synths, and it's always been there for a long time. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna. There's an opportunity here, so I'm gonna try something different. Get off the drums and the guitars and the mass distortion and the loud amps and stuff, and get behind a set of keys and have some fun with that. So it's been good exploring that musical journey too. But back on the heavy stuff now, which is good as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I've got both of them going, Catan, and then a new band going on, which should be coming out soon. So
you still doing Bayou?
No, so Bayou finished up after 10 years in January. Just felt the journey of
January this year?
Yeah, January this year. Yeah, we played our last show at the Indie Hotel supporting a band from the US called Yawning Man, and it was a little bit sad to see it go, but it just felt right as well to call it a day and try something new. It was good. Good while it lasted. Yeah, a lot of funny memories and met a lot of good people along the way, and had a lot of fun. Yeah,
I think we played with you guys once at the Railway. I think it was the Railway once years back.
Yeah,
Matty Trash played.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
That's going back at the Railway as well.
Railway,
wow. Awesome.
That place is still kicking.
I know.
I think, the RTR festival was there.
Well, this is the thing. I think there's those venues. People are pumping money into them. Those like the Civic Hotel. Now it's the Milk Bar, and looks like to be a very happening place. They're really launching, I think, next weekend. And there's high-profile bands going through there. They've pumped some money into it. But, as high-rise buildings go up around and people want to go into their apartments and stuff like that everywhere close to the CBD, there's less of those venues around. So, there's money being pumped into them. So some good stuff going on there. Yeah.
Because I know there's a metal show happening at Amplifier in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And just in my mind, to even do a heavy show at Amplifier nowadays, just like I wouldn't want to go.
Yeah.
Just because the venue lost its cred. To me, I feel like it's lost its cred now, having that bowling alley, and just it doesn't feel welcome to heavy music like it used to back in the day.
Yeah,
this sort of
it's welcome to 10-pin bowling and and mediocre stuff.
And great kebabs out the front.
Always.
City kebabs.
What an institution that place.
Oh my goodness.
The young kid that used to work at the kebab place still works there.
Still there. Jeez.
Still there.
Yep. I still get kebabs there. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah, man. We've seen a lot of things come and go, bands, venues, and stuff. Mm-hmm. Remember there was that kind of that time where a lot of venues were closing down. You remember that?
That's right.
There was that 1 year that we lost like 4 or 5 venues in one hit. We lost the bakery. We lost all these places.
Even the Rocket Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That used to be a good venue right in the middle of the city. Small, but it drew, like, crowds used to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it became a male strip club, and more people are going there.
I haven't been there yet, but maybe I need to check it out.
You go down well, as a strip.
Well, I'll be a punter and anything else that's going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, like new stuff will pop out, like and it'll replace it. There's new stuff. The turnover is always happening. You got to keep looking forward.
Yep.
I think I went through a period where I was really just looking back.
Yep.
Stuck, missing all the venues that were there and the times that we had. But
yep.
That's like a surefire way to just get depression. You got to move forward. Like
that's the thing. You get older and your friends don't want to go to shows. They become settled at staying at home, and then
that's definitely me. Yeah.
And look, you ask people, hey, do you want to go to a gig? And they're like, oh, I don't go to those anymore. I'm like, what? I think it's if it's in your heart and it's in your blood and soul, then seeing live music is just an experience you're not going to get off watching YouTube or watching it on your phone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just the whole experience. It's like watching a movie at the cinema. You can watch it at the cinema, get that grand thing going on. It's like you're transported into another little dimension. Or you could, go to a live music and, be part of that show. And that's and thing that I get caught out in shows is I like to take a few little videos here and there, and then upload it to the socials and share bands around and stuff that's going on, just to keep people in the loop on the cool stuff that's happening in Perth. But I used to be a bit of a, I don't know, I get sucked into, I need to hold that phone there for like 5 minutes, and you've just missed that experience, It's...
You lose the appreciation for what you've paid for.
Yeah, and I think after a while, people watch like a minute or whatever on their screen. It's like, all right, I've had enough of this. They don't need to see something from a phone. They just want to get a taste. So, yeah, just a little bit on there and share it out there on the socials is always good too. A lot of good things happening in Perth. A lot of good bands coming out.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like for me, like. It's really only if I know the band or if it's something that's really good, like a good lineup, I'll go out and see, because to see it's something you were saying earlier, when you're seeing younger kids doing music and younger people, like these new bands coming out that are really fucking good.
Yep.
Nah, fuck them. Like, I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them. I feel comfortable with the way I'm playing and the way I'm doing. I don't want to see younger people doing better than me.
Yeah, it's always that bit of that envy. You're like, oh, well, wasn't I that good when I was that age? But it's just healthy to see new blood coming through, new music, and new inspiration. You'll see these dudes and or ladies, that are really good at their instruments and songwriting and stuff like that, and it drives you to keep going, I think. Yeah. And you need that new blood to keep the scene fresh as well.
Totally.
New punters, and that's what's important. People coming out, seeing shows. I was saying before, went to the show on the weekend, the Ohm Rune launch, and it was really good. It was my first show after this whole COVID restriction thing, and it just seemed to be a different appreciation out there for shows, and people were a bit more hungry for it, which was good. Because a lot of effort happens behind the scenes on putting on shows, and I don't think people understand that. And it's nice just to see people come out and appreciate it.
It's such an easy thing to walk by. You know?
Absolutely.
And like literally walk by a venue. Someone's poured hours into designing a poster, booking the venue, trying to promo it on social media. And,
I think it's...
And people go, $5 now.
Yeah. Well, that's... and you bring up a valid point there. I mean, you're like talking movies again. You'll see a movie, you'll pay like $20-$25 at the cinema, but then you're charging like $5 to $10 to go see 3 bands, and they're like, oh no, that's too much, it's a rip-off. You're paying $10 for a beer or something like that. And then you've got 3-4 bands that have put so much effort into it. And then you've got the promoter and the venue, and all that money gets divvied up. And unless you've got a few hundred people out there, people are they're making nothing. And look, you don't really do this stuff you don't make music and put on shows to make squillions of money. And there are people that do that. But I think with underground music, you do it because you love it, but you don't want to be out of pocket either. So it's nice to pay bands something. And as a promoter, it's nice to not have it cost you bulk dollars as well,
So what we need to do a lockdown every couple of months and then put on a big gig and drive everyone to go to a gig after the lockdown.
Yeah, the one.
Great idea.
Every couple of months, we'll just lock down everyone and then promote a gig, and you watch.
Just need to have a word to the government and see what they can sort out for us. I'm sure they can sort out some new thing to lock people down with.
I was actually going back on that the money thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
When we were studying at TAFE, I remember going through tell us about the essentially the management side and putting on gigs, and literally when you break down all the money that the promoters, crew, everything, labels, all that stuff, by the end of it, the band gets like fuck all.
Zero.
At the end of it. It's just amazing to see how much it all gets broken down.
Yeah.
And people out there saying, bands are making millions of dollars. Well, are they?
I think it's reasonable to be charging a higher price than what was typically had in the past, like $10. $10 to get into a show has been going on for, I don't know, 30 years or something like that. I think something double that, $20 to see 3 killer bands and good production. You can see that the effort's gone in there. I mean, sure, there's shows that you may think, oh, gee, what did that money get me? But when you pay a little bit extra and you can see the effort that's gone into it, and production and stuff like that, and the bands are all high caliber, it makes you appreciate it more and go, oh, $20, that's worth nothing.
And it's an ecosystem.
It is.
So like your $10 goes a long way into feeding all these other people that it splits up into. I mean, at the end of the day, absolutely, like bands make fuck all, but yeah.
Well, look, I remember seeing bands many years ago back in the 90s, and you'd be charging like, I don't know, $30 or whatever to see an international band. Now you're paying $100. Why shouldn't it be the same for local bands? That's my point. I think a lot of local bands undervalue themselves on what they're worth.
You got to factor in the Uber rides to get there, and the Maccas at the end of the gig.
Well,
I remember like we used to do gigs, and you'd get like $12 at the end of the night. Like, I can go to Macca's and get something to eat. Like, fucking awesome.
Yeah. That's it, man. That's it.
Even Macca's has gone up. I mean, like a Big Mac value meal is going to cost you almost $15.
Yeah.
Everything goes up, and I think the value of bands needs to go up too. So
yeah, you're right. Yeah, and people don't want to legitimize what they do as well. I think people are very shy sometimes.
They are, yeah. And look, you got to stand up for what you believe, and if you think you're worth it, then speak up.
Fuck, we were crazy as kids, eh? Do you remember being in the pit? All those shows.
Oh man, I've suffered so many injuries. One of the worst ones is I went to the Sex Pistols, and I remember that was in the entertainment centre, and some dude was crowd surfing me, and he's crowd surfing, and he just kicks me in the face and knocked me out for like, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then I've had my feet smashed so many times, but There's a couple of ingrown toenails happening there because of
oh my god
casualties of the mosh pit.
So for people that don't know, like all us three here, we used to go into the mosh pit for like these really heavy metal bands. I sound like such a pussy now. These really heavy metal bands, but like there was that boom in like what do they call it? That metalcore when metalcore came out, and we were just throwing down in the pit.
I Discord days and things like
Discord,
that.
You had that new wave of American heavy metal going through with Kill Switch and
Lamb of God and all that.
All that stuff that was happening back in the day. I
lapped all of that up. I lapped it up. I loved it. I fucking loved it.
You had your sound waves going through and all that stuff. There was a massive scene going on at the time, and like you said, Discord and all that stuff happening, and and that was the thing, even the local shows had some mad pits in them as much as the international shows.
Yeah.
And I used to get fucked up. I used to get trampled and all that stuff, Yeah. And we would just go back for more and with our backflips and shit. Yeah.
I can't remember what gig it was, if it was a local or it might have been a soundwave or something, but I just remember being in the pit and having a shoe hit me in the head.
Yeah, nice.
A couple of minutes later, the person came with it. Like,
oh, really? Yeah. Did they get the shoe back? And
I don't know. So just a shoe. I'm like, fucking shoe. And the next thing I look up, there's a fucking person coming.
It wasn't Cinderella with the magical slipper or ball gown on. What are you doing here? Yeah.
We've actually had Sam. Sam Allen.
I certainly do.
We love Sam Allen. We've had him on the show twice. Once or twice. I can't remember.
Twice.
But he got injured in the pit. He's got like a permanent injury from the mosh pit, doesn't he?
Oh, I'm not sure, man. Yeah.
I heard that he like dislocated one of his like a leg or something.
Yeah.
It's been with him. Like it's been...
Oh, wow.
It'll play up every now and again,
Yeah.
That might be a bit too personal. I don't know if that's bad to bring that up. But
Sam's going to get in contact with you and bust your balls.
No, it's okay. But no, it's just like, I'm surprised at how many... I'm surprised we survived that. Well, I did anyway. I was going nuts in the pit. Like I would like spit, do all that shit. Yeah.
Oh, just careless and crazy. Like,
you get caught in the moment, and you're having a fun time, and I might have a few drinks as well. So the edges cut down, and you just get into it.
It's breakdancing for metal, right?
It was.
It's flexing. Yeah. It's like I'm showing off. I'm going nuts.
I
love it.
I've seen a circle pit around the pillar in the middle of amplifier.
Yeah.
You know that one pillar that sits in the middle of it? I've seen a circle pit around that, and I was just like, how the fuck?
Awesome.
That was fucking good shit. I can't remember who it was, but
can't remember.
I mean, it's metal shows. It's the same with like electronic music. Everyone's in sync into that vibe, into the groove, and you get that collective energy, and you just feed on that. And
very tribal.
It is.
It's very tribal. Yeah.
It's a good feeling.
We used to call you the Hulk. We still do, kind of.
Well, some people still do for some reason. I don't know why. My skin isn't green, so I don't know.
Did that ever get on your nerves when we called you Hulk?
Nah, look, no? I've had that for a long time. I think the first dude to call me that was Rafe from Discord, and it kind of stuck with that.
I remember you did a Halloween thing. You actually fully hulked up in green and everything.
I've hulked out a few times. I've donned the green body paint and worn the ripped up clothes and
the
all
ripped
that.
Shirt.
Yeah, did it for Halloween a couple of times. I've even hit a couple of Comic Cons for a bit of fun, and that was a bit of fun. Yeah,
because you're a big comic book fan, right? You're a massive superhero fan.
Love it. Yeah, have been for a very long time. Still collecting, still an avid collector. Lath at Chaos Pop, fantastic shop.
Nice.
He's my dealer.
You get all the new shit from him, the hot stuff.
Look, I get a lot of new stuff, but I'm really keen on old stuff from the 60s as well, and it's just like a little time capsule. You read these books and you got the ads going on, and then you got the art that's really wild and reflective of the time, and then you'll have these stories that are underlying in them, and kids will read it and it influences them, and if it's a good story and a good writer, it's just like reading a normal book. It's just like modern times mythology. You can learn something out of it, and I think that's why a lot of comic book films now are doing so well with Marvel and people catching on, because people want to be inspired, and I think when times are dark as they are out there now, I think people are looking for that escape, and that's why comic books are really popular, and also a message. It's important
There's
stuff.
a lot of universal themes within.
Yeah, there is, man. There is. You know, I mean, I was always a big fan of, as a kid, old classic mythology, Greek mythology, Roman, all that stuff, man. Norse,
yeah. That's
love all that. And
all
then
the Viking shit,
yeah, all that stuff. And you know, and then you've got the same themes going through in comic books. And it's really cool read. Yeah. It's inspiring stuff.
All the archetypes and all the the hero and the anti-hero.
It's the hero's journey.
Yeah.
So they say. I like to do a lot of reading on that stuff as well.
It's fucking interesting, man.
Yeah, there's a dude out there called Joseph Campbell that's passed away that he analysed a lot of all this mythology in times and found like a common theme amongst all this mythology, but it was just different cultures that put a different spin on the same themes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of similarities out there, and then that passed on from like pagan religions to organized religion to what it is today. But I think a lot of it gets a bad rap, but there's some important messages to be learnt there. It's an interesting read.
I still can't work out how Thor, who is apparently a Greek god, Norse god, got into the Marvel universe with Iron Man, because are they like two completely different things?
Two different timelines.
Yeah, just like, because I thought like the god Thor is from an old, like mythology, like Greek mythology.
Norse,
but North. Sorry, like it's the same thing, Greek and Norse.
Yeah.
But then he finds himself in the Marvel comics. Yeah. Because he preceded Marvel comics, didn't he?
So
the idea of Thor.
This whole conversation is going to get very geeky now, and I'm probably going to reflect on how much of a geek I am. So I'm going to apologise, but that's the way it is. But yeah, look, it all happened like 1962, 1963. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby are creating all these amazing heroes, and Iron Man comes out, does his thing. But before that actually was Thor, and the way that happened, there was like this dude called Donald Blake, and he's in Norway, and he comes across this cave, and these aliens come down, and he's trying to escape them, and he comes across this cane and smashes the cane on the floor, and he turns into Thor, and then it all just happened there. And I think what the thing was at the time, Stan Lee was just looking for new ideas. You had this technological guy with Iron Man, and then he's like, I like old school mythology. Why don't I throw that in there? And then, all the other things that he created. It's just more variety to touch people with different stories.
But on the way, but wasn't Thor like in the times with like Zeus is a Greek god?
Yeah. So look,
did Stanley steal real mythology and put it into his own?
Yeah. So
books?
if you read Thor comics, who is also my favorite comic book character, Stan Lee will actually give stories like when he started writing it all the way back to those ancient times, and he's taking all the stories of Loki and Hela and all the other gods, Balder the Brave, all that stuff. And he's just putting it onto paper, just taking it all straight out there, and just plagiarizing it basically.
Well, I didn't want to say those words, but essentially that kind of he didn't create Thor.
No, he didn't. No, he just he just stole the stories and just translated them to the crowd that was happening at the time, which was kids and teenagers and that whole counterculture thing of the 60s, but no, fantastic writer. Yeah, really cool.
I've always been amazed how I mean, I'm a comic book fan myself, but I'm a DC person.
Yeah, that's okay. I'll forgive you.
But is Marvel still making Avenger movies, or have they done
No. So with the whole COVID thing,
they milked it. I felt they milked them too much. They milked them too. They just kept going.
Well, man, when they're making, hundreds of millions of dollars, there's still an appetite from people out there. There's a market out there, and people can't get enough of it. And with the COVID thing, that's just put a damper on those films coming out. I think the next one coming out is Black Widow, but that's all till next year. There's no films coming out. But there's stories that resonate with people. Like I said, people want to be inspired and they want to see, stuff that keeps them motivated. And I think comic book films do that, just like old mythology did that,
We're still waiting for Wonder Woman 1984.
1984.
That looks fucking good.
Yeah, that looks pretty killer. Who knows? I think it's coming out in November or something like that. It's been delayed for a bit. But yeah, I do love DC as well. Yeah, it's good stuff there.
You've got like an endless source to draw from.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why there's so many movies. Like, you can just keep pumping it out because there's so much lore, there's so much backstory and news story that you can make.
All that stuff, it's all those Marvel comics like Thor and all that stuff. It's 60 years worth of stories there to drive your movies off. And, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, all that stuff's been going on since the 30s and the 40s. So there's so much storylines going on there. So yeah, lots of good stuff to make movies out of.
And then you just need to incorporate one element of time travel, and it just keeps going.
Oh,
once time travel's in there, you've just
or a portal where people can cross dimensions.
That's all. That's all happening.
Yeah, it's all over. I need to think of my Halloween outfit. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to wear.
Yeah, I got to do one myself.
Yeah, there's still one Halloween costume I want to do, but I don't know if it's too soon.
Oh, no,
don't say Donald Trump or something.
No, but worse than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you probably know what it is. I keep saying it, but
I don't know.
Hitler.
Yeah.
Is it too early to dress up as Hitler? Come on, isn't Halloween about dressing up as something evil and something bad? Is that not like the greatest Halloween costume ever?
You can give it. You're more than welcome to give it a try.
You could. Yeah, I mean, I like to see you walk through the streets of Perth with that on. You might get a few funny looks and some criticism, but yeah.
But it's Halloween.
It is.
You do Hitler, I'll do Pol Pot. Brendon, I don't know who Brendon is.
I don't know, I'll do Stalin or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Mussolini or something, I don't know.
It'll be like three crazy dictators. Yeah. Is that too politically incorrect? I mean, it's evil, right? You're dressing up as something evil.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Would you do the whole outfit? The whole fucking
people
thing?
get dressed up as serial killers. Well,
there you go.
Yeah.
If I went as Norman Bates or something, no one would
exactly
say anything.
If you, I'm not getting into this discussion.
No, okay, don't.
Okay, Hitler's done.
But Norman Bates doesn't exist, so that kind of wouldn't work.
No, I'd have to be, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer or Ed Gein or Charles Manson or something.
Could I be Epstein with the rope around my neck? Would that be all right? Like an Asian Epstein? Just
I'd like to see that. Yeah, just hanging around a kid's primary school or something as well. With a bag of lollies and a white van, it'd be perfect, Yeah.
But Halloween is actually coming up.
Halloween is coming up.
That fucking came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And on that note, shameless plug for one of my shows coming up. So, at the Rosemount.
Can I help you with this plug? This is going to be really lame.
No, please do, because there's so many bands on there.
Return to the surface. So, old mate Russell from Giant Dwarf, he hit me up and working on a bit of a show at the Rosemount. A lot of good bands on there. For Halloween, starts pretty early in the afternoon. It'll be going all night. We've got Injured Ninja, Scalphunter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yomi Ship. Mage are fucking awesome.
Yep.
Ohm Rune.
Yep.
Giant Dwarf.
Yep.
Injured Ninja. Shout out Steve. He's been on here as well.
Yep.
So that's going on at the Rosemount on Halloween.
Halloween. Yeah, that's going to be a happening show. You can dress up. You can dress up as Hitler if you like. And rock up there.
I don't know if you want to redact that or not.
I'm just putting it out there. If you want to do it, that option's there for yourself.
If someone does that.
I don't know. I don't know what I get dressed up. Maybe I'll get dressed up as the Hulk so I can have extra strength to lift up all those bloody amps. Yeah. Damn orange amps. They're so heavy. They sound so good, but they're so heavy.
Eric Bana Hulk or Edward Norton Hulk?
Probably Edward Norton. But I do like Mark Ruffalo as well.
Sorry, I completely forgot about Mark Ruffalo as well.
Eric Bana was good, and I like Eric Bana. He did a fantastic chopper, but just the Hulk in that film looks so crap, you know? And
Too CGI.
Yeah, I think it was Ang Lee that did that film, and there was a bit of a good story going on. But yeah, no, it was too CGI. Yeah. He looked like plasticine. And then he got really tall as he got really stronger, and it was like he's like
it looks like a video game, or like some
20 feet tall.
Video.
Wasn't a fan of that film.
I just need to pee.
Go for it. Yeah. So you've actually got to do backline for all those shows, right?
Yeah. So I'll be doing backline. So there'll be 3 stages set up at that show.
Yeah.
So backline will be a big day doing that.
Is it just you handling the whole thing?
Not unless I've got some volunteers to help me.
Well, honestly,
get in touch. I need some help. Look, I'm sure.
If you want, I'm more than willing to. We can come down if you want on those nights.
Look, it'll be all right.
We just want free tickets. No.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, but
old chestnut.
More than willing to help if you ever need it.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Those would be good shows. Yeah,
that'll be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good just to get a huge amount of bands into a venue. That hasn't happened in a while in itself.
Yeah.
I think the days of big festivals has been, blown away as well.
Mm-hmm. Plus, you got Halloween, which I think will be an advantage because people that generally are into 100%. Bands that don't really have a Halloween party to go to now have something to go to. So.
Massive party to go to. So, you could go there, watch a few bands, then go trick-or-treating around the neighbourhood for a bit, get some lollies, but just make sure you're not dressed as Epstein and
or Hitler.
Don't
carry a knife or a gun either.
Yeah. No, I don't think you get let into the venue if you do that. So but it should be a big night and a big day, and just good to see live shows again.
It is, especially of that that and of that genre.
Absolutely.
Well.
Look, and there's a variety of bands on there. I mean, you guys got Engine Ninja, and then you've got Scalphunter, then you've got heavier bands like Ohm Rune and people like that. So
got some post rock in there with Yomi Ship.
Yeah, look, there's something there for everyone, and they're all high quality bands, and there's some up and coming bands there as well. So yeah, worth checking out. Definitely.
Is 459 part of that show?
Yep.
So it's like two.
So 459 will be going, Rosemount will be going, and I think there's an outside stage possibly being set up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
And yeah, thanks to Cool Perth Nights, Andrew, for helping out on that one as well.
Awesome. Yeah, shout out Andrew Ryan. We should go to that.
I haven't been to Rosemount in ages.
In a while.
I have seen the new
main
layout. And stuff. Yeah,
it's really good.
It looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. Yeah.
Almost been about just under a year since we've gone there. No, summer. We went there, didn't we? November, December. It's cool, man. I do prefer the stage area because I feel like it's more contained.
Yeah, definitely. And 459's good. You know, they've put some cash into that, and that's a nice little intimate venue there as well.
Yeah,
I've been to some good shows at 459.
Yeah, it's good. It's nice and tight. So.
Yeah, nice.
Nice and tight.
I couldn't. Sorry. my mind's in the gutter. Sorry. Yeah,
that's all right.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, man. But interesting times, and I'm glad to see you still putting shows on. Like you're still in it.
Yeah, look, I've got a few shows coming up, and again, I'll do some plugging because I don't want people to come to shows.
You got some new merch as well. I see some new merch.
So I've got a new band happening. We're called Twin Serpents, and we're a 3-piece doom band, and we will be just in the process of finishing writing an album, and then I would say early next year we're going to have our first show coming up, and hopefully an album too. Influences are on that are doom metal. So bands like Monolord and Conan and Saint Vitus, bands like that. But then I also am bringing a little bit of a 70s synth vibe in there. I do like a lot of 70s Italian horror films.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, that's a good outlet to slide some of that in there. I always like those albums that, like in the 70s, you had like a couple of little weird interlude songs going on and things like that where it was like I remember old Black Sabbath albums and you'd have an acoustic piece or a synth piece or something like that. And I'm thinking, why can't you throw that into an album? It's it's dynamics. It's all that creativity process, which I like. So yeah, that'll be happening. So pretty excited to do that. Working with a couple of dudes, Jackson from Solemn and Rory that used to be in King Zog and about 100 other bands, as drummers do.
Yeah.
What is it with drummers?
I don't know. They're fucked in the head.
Oh, that's why I changed from drums to guitar. But so yeah, I'm also bringing back Black Lights and Neon Nights in January. If you don't know what that is, did about 10 of those shows at the old Civic Den for a while, and then did one also at Lucy's. Again, big fan of, like it says, Black Lights and Neon Nights, and so I just wanted a reason to deck out a room in some psychedelic posters and UV lights where you can, if you're inclined that way, to trip out on and see some, psych-influenced type bands and stoner and doom and fuzzy type bands. And had bands like Yomi Ship on there and King Zog, so many bands. It was great. Mage, all those guys. And so I'm bringing that back in on 15th of January at Lucy's. Just locking in the lineup on that one, so there should be more details on that. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be good. There was a nice little crowd and scene building through with that. There was a lot of familiar faces coming through. I used to do it monthly, but it got a bit full on. Yeah.
I'm going to segue really quickly because speaking of psychedelic art, we just got a piece done by Robbie Sheridan, who worked on some Catan artwork as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so we've got that as a little bit of art. We should post that soon.
I think we're actually going to be launching that with this episode.
With this episode, yeah.
We teed that up. So
she does
we planned this.
Yeah.
She does some amazing art. She's also
amazing.
Fantastic DJ, very creative, very talented.
Yep.
And myself and my partner in crime, Dave Lockyer in Catan, we had the pleasure with working with her and also going to a few of her DJ events at Quigley's and a few other things, and it was really good. And
she goes to so many cool parties. I'm like, where the fuck do you get invited to these weird house parties and weird warehouses and shit? So cool.
Yeah, no, really good. And it's a fantastic group of people that go to those shows as well,
Totally.
And it's a good energy amongst those people. And it's like the metal thing. It's that collective energy and it's just a different vibe. And it's really cool. Really cool. So, yeah. Shout out to Bertie, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Bertie Louise. We might chuck a link as well in our description. And you can see the new art as well on the Instagram. We're going to do a big post about it.
We'll be putting that up, yeah. Thanks a lot, yeah.
That is going to be good. We've been sitting on that for a while. I'm like, can't wait.
Get it out there, get it out there.
Yeah.
Oh, she's amazing.
But it's cool to see, people utilising all these. We got so many talented people around us. We just have to look and
absolutely,
and we need to keep the ecosystem happening by willing to part with a bit of money here and there, and just make it happen. It comes full circle, and it will come around to you as well.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's just about supporting your friends and your peers, and keeping things going, and keeping that energy alive amongst everybody. Because it does get disheartening, like we put on shows and people don't come and you're like, what the hell am I doing this for? It just cost me X amount of dollars to put on a show, which no one really gave a shit about. Why am I doing this? And, I've been in places like that at times, but you step away for a little bit and you recharge and you reevaluate and you come back again. So, it's good.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Got to keep going. How are you for a drink? You good?
I'm good. This, Prancing Pony. I thought it would taste like a Ferrari, and I think it tastes nothing like a Ferrari.
Let's review our drinks for a sec. I got good old-fashioned VB.
I've got Swamp Town.
Is that expired? Is that still valid?
I don't know. It's like a...
Best Buy?
It says it's a wet hop IPA. I don't know what a dry hop IPA would be. But,
these are not plugs, not sponsors.
No.
This is shit. Don't drink it.
Just to prove that we're not... Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very interesting beer choice.
Yeah, and then, One other show coming up. One more plug. I've got to do it. So I've got Armageddon 6 coming up in May.
Next year, May 22nd?
Yeah, look, that's been, with everything going on with travel restrictions, I haven't been able to bring over the bands that I wanted to do. So I've got a couple of bands from the Ukraine coming over.
Ukraine.
Yeah. So one's called Somali Yacht Club and the other one's called Stone Jesus. And
these are the best band names.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll be bringing those guys over with my good friend Anthony at Your Mate Bookings over from Sydney. And we've got a band from Melbourne, a doom band called Droid coming over. And then we've got, Apollo 80, Giant Dwarf, and Mage on the bill as well. So those tickets are on sale now. You can get those through yourmatebookings.com. And that should be a great show. It's just going to be good to get international bands here again. And East Coast bands as well.
Yeah.
Always a good night, the old Armageddons. Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
Always a lot of fun.
That's May 22nd at... What venue was that at?
That is at the Civic, which is now the Milk Bar.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, which bit's a Milk Bar?
The main room?
Not the big one at the back?
Yeah, so the Civic has undergone a renovation. They changed their name to the Milk Bar. They are doing their relaunch, I think, next weekend. They got the Floors there, Old Blood, one other band I can't remember right now. And look, they've pumped some money into the place, redone it all, and they've got some high-profile bands starting to go through. So interested to see what the Civic looks like. There's a lot of fond memories there, but it's the Civic, but not as we know it. And I heard that place was going to be shut down and turned into a Dan Murphy's or something like that. So it's good to see that venues like that.
I've always enjoyed that the big stage in the back room. That's just that room itself just felt so good because
it's actually a good room
because there's nothing there to do except watch the band.
Exactly right.
There's a bar at the back, but then there's just room was just the band, and the stage was big, good lighting, everything. Like I played a couple of gigs there, and it was fucking amazing place to play.
It's a good place. Stage is big, PA's good, lighting rig there was great, and the band area wasn't too far from the stage, so you could just whip your gear straight on there and off.
Yeah.
So, good venue.
I judge a venue by the ease of loading in and out.
Oh, my goodness.
Because as a drummer, right, you've got to be aware of all these things that other people aren't looking at.
I remember Babushka in Leaderville, and you had to go up those stairs, and it was like carrying Ampeg 810s up.
I probably had like 2 or 3 strokes just on the journey up to up on the stairs.
Oh man, it's crazy. Right. But yeah, it does make a big difference, And at the start of the day when you're loading in, it's fine. But at the end of the night when it's like 1 o'clock in the morning and you're half cut and you're dealing with people trying to get your stuff out, and then you got to walk down these stairs and everything's a little bit fuzzy. Yeah, it makes life a bit challenging.
That's what I meant. That's why I remember used to like lugging around a 4x12. Thinking like when I first started playing being stage, like, oh shit, I need a 4x12 because all bands have 4x12s. I need a big amp, huge stage.
Yeah.
And then after a while I realized, oh wait, you don't actually need a huge amp, because if you have a good sound guy that can mic something up, it'll be a small little amp.
Exactly
so
right.
Went down to a 2x12 combo.
Yep. It's that whole aesthetic thing and that whole mentality. Bigger is better, but is it really?
Yeah. Well, I've been on stage with Tony Iommi.
Yep.
And he has a wall of Marshall amplifiers.
Yeah.
And only 2 of them are real.
Exactly. It's all dummy amps.
It's all fucking fake.
It's an illusion, man.
It's all, like I said, aesthetics. To look good. That was my main goal. That's why I played bands, was to look good.
Yep.
But after a while, you start realizing, oh, wait, there's more to it.
I went through a big phase where I went really minimal.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a rack tom. It was just a snare and a floor tom and a kick drum.
That's been a joy playing with Catan, where I've had to play some of the drums on that, whereas just a kick, a snare, and a hi-hat.
That's what you got.
That's it. You don't need any more.
But you got to make it work. You make it work, and that's what I really like. I think I played gigs with no crash, just a ride, a hi-hat, snare, floor tom, kick. And it took 3 seconds to set up.
It's actually harder to play with less drums, I think, because you got to make them sound bigger and get more out of it, and also challenge yourself to...
And you're more exposed.
Yeah, exactly right.
Like physically, they see your whole top half.
Yep.
So you can't hide behind all this shit.
Yep.
Like they're seeing you, so you've got to make the show, and I kind of like that.
Yeah, and you got to hold it all together with less. You know, there's no fills around the drum kit or big crashes coming up, but you still want it to make it sound solid and tight and big. You know?
So, which I do appreciate those guys that do go really complex. But
oh man, when I started, like I was saying back in the day, 2004, 5 or whatever, doing drums with Terminal, and had like a double bass,
double barrel,
8-piece drum kit or something stupid, and what ended up happening was my crashes would fall off the riser because I wanted to look cool with like 4 crashes and 4 toms and 2 floors and this and that.
It worked, but it must have been hell to pack that down.
Oh, dude, no worse than backline now. So I think it was training for where I am today. But,
I've played at gigs where the drummer after us was taking up half of the floor, setting up the whole rack thing.
Oh, dude.
So there's hardly anyone at the front of the stage because the drummer's built it, and then we finish playing, and they need like 5 people to carry this huge big rack thing on the stage that takes up half the fucking stage. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And then the other thing with like big drum kits too, I mean, the setup time, and then it eats into your play time, and you're like, what is it really worth it?
Hey, if you've got your own road crew and you've got your own
go for
thing,
it.
Absolutely. But if that's the thing, cutting obviously you've had this before where you're playing or band's gone too long.
Yeah,
it's cut into your time. And you end up with like less set, and you're like, fuck, you got a whole set to play, and you can only play like fucking 5 songs. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
thanks a lot, guys.
I remember one gig I played was with Bayou, and we had this band. I think it was at the Boston. They had this band before us that went like 15 minutes over the set time, and then they wanted to dry themselves with towels, and they also had scarves on too. So they took like the scarves off the amps and made sure they were like putting scarves on. We're like, hey guys, you're over time. Can you get the hell off stage? Oh, no, can you just wait, please? And this dude's like adjusting his scarf. Does it really have to be done on stage in front of a crowd? You're not Duran Duran, mate. Just relax.
I learned the hard way. It was Rosemount. I had just finished a gig, and I don't know what was in my head, but I think I had to run away and like open my car boot or something at the Rosemount car park. And all I see when I get back is Kelvin.
Yeah.
You guys know Kelvin, the sound guy from Rosemount?
Yeah.
And he's like angrily pulling my stuff off and just dumping it. And he's like, mate, when you finish your set, you get the fuck off the stage. And I was like, sorry, I just had to open, like, because I was such a noob at that time.
Yeah.
But it's real. Like, you gotta get, you gotta not cut in. You can never eat into another band's time.
No, look, man, there's a clock on the side of the stage for a reason. It's not there for play school education. I mean, just big hand goes that way, little hand goes that way. Have a look, or if it's digital, you can see the numbers. But it's there for a reason. Have a look at what's going on. And it's just etiquette,
I shat my pants when he said that. Yeah.
I don't think he's there anymore, but I remember some memories there. Yeah,
a lot of memories there. Jeez.
Yeah, there was.
Gotta make more memories though. Gotta look forward.
Well, come to the Rosemount October the 31st, boys. If you can,
we will. I think we will.
Yeah.
If you need help, by the way, I was saying while you were chucking a pee that we can help out if you need. some help.
Well, I'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
Always happy to have hands on deck.
Yeah. Johnny's got some experience with lifting shit.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah.
So did you know Johnny worked a lot for EPA and all those rigging companies?
Oh,
staging.
Sorry. Yeah.
A
lot of long nights.
Late nights, fucking sleeping in the car park at Burswood Dome, waiting for a show to finish.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the joys of backline life as well. People are like, oh, you see all these great gigs, but one of my fondest memories was I had to do like a high school. It was like some born again Christian place in North Clarkson or something like that, and they went like an hour over the time. So I was sitting outside, just waiting for this stuff going on, and they're doing their sermon stuff, and I'm like texting this dude, hey man, I'm outside waiting, and oh no, it won't be that long, and it's like an hour they're just sitting there like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, people, again, going into that thing, be mindful of the time that you're doing, guys, and yeah, just get the hell out of there. But it's challenging. It's challenging.
I think I actually enjoy doing corporate gigs more than like touring band gigs.
Yeah.
We used to like the convention center and a few the theaters and stuff like that. And just some of that corporate shit was just so much nicer because it was so much more organized.
It's all to a time frame. This is what you're doing then, and you're getting out there, and it's organized. Yeah.
You bring a band in with 12 semi-trailers into a fucking place. It's chaos.
Yeah. A lot of moving parts to that jigsaw puzzle going on.
Yeah, it's weird, like, because I would imagine the corporate stuff is more better organized. And then like you run into these, you know, bands with big crews and big production, and it's like no one knows really what's happening.
Yeah, it does happen.
Some dude hasn't showed up in an hour. You don't know who to call. Like, it's just fucking a shit show.
There's too many variables that can go wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and it does happen. You know?
Mind you, the catering at Burswood Dome used to be on point.
Yeah, right.
They used to give us catering.
What a random thing to say.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. What was your favourite amongst the catering there? Was it the chicken hors d'oeuvres?
Well, we did get told off for eating Megadeth's dinner.
Megadeth's Mega Burger.
Yeah. No, we were working at
extra cheese.
It was Challen Stadium when Megadeth were playing with. Who were they playing with? I can't remember
that. Yeah.
But we were up in the top green room. We just finished back on the stage and walked upstairs, and there's like this nice big platter and stuff. We're like, oh yeah, normal catering. So we start helping ourselves to food and sit down with these plates and stuff.
Yeah.
And then some guys, like some tour guys, walked in, and then Dave Mustaine and a few Megadeth guys walked in, and they're like, looking around like, where's the food? And we're just like, oh shit.
You're eating his M&Ms or something.
Yeah. No, it's like full, you know, platters and nice food and stuff. And then our boss came in. He's like, "Get the fuck out! What are you doing?" I'm like, well, we didn't know. We were hungry. We saw food. Like, sorry, Dave. Fuck you.
No sandwiches for you. Yeah.
Can't believe I'm not dead from this lifestyle. Yeah.
It'll catch up with you.
I think it will. I think it already has. Mentally, it definitely has.
Well, hey, look, you know what? That's true. I mean, look, if you keep, it is a lot of it is about your mental headspace. You know, I mean, as soon as you think you're defeated and you've already lost half the battle, you know, you got to keep energized. You got to keep. Yeah, I mean, we're talking about looking young and stuff like that. It's a big mental thing as well. You know?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, and how you live your life. I mean, sure, you can have a few beers here and there, but nutrition, exercise, all that stuff becomes really important as you get older, and just having a positive mindset. And, you know, you get older and more challenges come. Oh, I've got to pay the bills, or I've got the mortgage, or this is going on in the world, and this negative energy is creeping on into me. And you just got to learn to filter that through and stay focused and not lose yourself. Yeah. It's really important.
Yeah, I think that's important, especially now. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of hills to climb.
Oh, there is
a lot of things to. I mean, I'm just the fact that we can have a beer.
Yeah.
Out at the pub at the moment is better than a lot of places at the moment. It's not something I take for granted, even though...
You know, everyone used to say, or a lot of people used to say, oh, Perth's the arse end of the world, we get nothing. Well, actually, it's paid off for a change, you know? I mean, because of our isolation, we're able to do a lot of things that a lot of other people can't do because of their restrictions that are going on.
At what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost, Basil?
Yeah.
No, we're not getting into it. No.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to see him as the mayor.
Basil's police state 2020.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
it won't.
When's our election? March next year or something. Yeah.
Oh, the state? No, well.
State.
Well, we got the local elections. Well, I've got to vote for the local, the Perth mayor, which is a local thing.
It's coming up.
But the state election is...
Which is the one happening in March?
I think that's the state.
Yeah.
Yeah, because McGowan wants to he's trying to stay in, or he's trying to keep his borders closed until the election or something.
Yeah.
Politics.
Oh.
Interesting. Hey, as long as we get to, like, keep what we have, some semblance of what we have, I'm pretty damn happy. I was just amazed tonight we could grab a beer, go get a slice of pizza.
How good is that?
Run through the rain. Well, and then come and do this. Like this is fucking cool.
You know, it was a spin out. Like went to the Ohm Rune launch last Friday. Did some backline there. Met up with lots of familiar faces I hadn't seen for a while, and it was just so nice to get close to people and connect. And not have to do it over a screen or FaceTime. Or that's the thing at the moment. It's all Zoom meetings and Skype meetings and this, that, and the other. And just getting in front of people and getting a beer and having that freedom to do. I want to get a pizza slice, and I can do that. I haven't got some curfew, 8 p.m. If I go out, I'm going to get a fine and stuff like that. So, But, hey, look, it'll all return back to normal in time. You just got to stay positive.
Yeah, you just got to have faith.
No, I thought you got to test negative. You don't want to stay positive.
Well, it depends. It's typo negative, and it's all right. Just depends on what it is,
Such a dad joke.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, we actually have kind of a curfew. The power's going to cut out.
What is the time?
No, not now.
No. But eventually, yeah.
Well, the power's eventually going to cut out.
Off the power for the works.
Yeah,
and stuff. I was actually. You were saying something before that you were bringing over a band from Ukraine.
Yeah, so there's two bands from the Ukraine: Stone Jesus and Somali Yacht Club.
Ukraine. Ukraine's more. That's Russia.
Yeah.
Because I've always had a admiration for Middle East metal bands.
Right.
So
okay.
There was a while back. There was a few Iraqi, like in Iraq. There's a bunch of metal bands over in Iraq. Which
nice.
It's kind of like it's one thing that I went. So I was in Romania a couple of years back watching some bands. Music sounds the same no matter where you go.
Yeah.
It's only as soon as someone opens their mouth and sings you realize that there's a difference in language. But music is just it's such a universal language.
Yep. That's right.
It's just I don't know. There's something strange about seeing music in another country.
Yep.
That just you kind of but is hearing the same thing.
Definitely. I mean, I always find it funny how you have foreigners that have thick accents, but when they sing, they sound American or something like that. You're like, how are you doing that? But look, like you said, music is universal. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. You got bands from Europe, UK, US, Australia, whatever. If there's a message there and there's a rhythm and a melody, it's going to carry through to anyone.
I'm also interested in scenes and how it's a microcosm here of everywhere else.
Yep.
There's nothing different from this scene from anywhere else. It's just in our way. People have a lot more in common than they do have,
absolutely.
In terms of differences, we have way more in common, and people are just trying to get by. People are doing the same thing. They just want to be free, express themselves. It's all kind of the same. It doesn't matter where you are in the world.
Absolutely, man. And I mean, being a promoter, you meet a lot of interesting people from all over the world, and I met some bands from all over the world, and they've all got the same challenges. I've talked to some people, they're going through a divorce, and then they're opening up, talking about, oh, she left me and this and that and the other, and someone else is talking about their health issues. So, I mean, it's all universal themes that everyone's going through. Just because you might be a rock star doesn't mean that you're not going through those same challenges as someone that's from an underground scene. And it's nice to meet those people that you look up to and you worship or whatever, and they're just humble people. But then there's some people I've worked with that are just terrible.
But you do meet some characters, man, in this I think everywhere's kind of like that. Anywhere that's performance based or creative, you get a lot of weird narcissistic tendencies.
Well, the other thing too is, you're in a touring band and you have to deal with people that are not getting a lot of sleep. They're dealing with shit food, getting sick, still trying to keep focused, and they've got their own challenges going on as well. So some of them that they may crack, and then it'll take a bad performance or something like that, and then you'll hear the end of it, because it may not be you that they're actually they're focusing all their anger at you, but is that the underlying issue as to why they're doing it? It's all the other shit that's gone on in the background.
You get caught in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly right. And that's just the straw that the straw that broke the camel's back. And sometimes you're just there because
you're the punching bag for the day.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's people that you meet sometimes. You know, I won't name names, but sometimes you wish you didn't meet them.
Yeah,
you're like, damn, I thought you were cool, and
and
like what you see or what you expect for some weird reason, based off the music and what you see, of that person, then you meet them, and then they're completely opposite.
Yeah, I mean, you have that ideology in your head as to what you think they're going to be like because they've made some fantastic music, and you've read some interviews with them, and they're like, oh wow, they seem so cool, and then you meet them, and they're like, no, you're not the person that I thought you to be, and it kind of just ruins everything. And then you listen to their music afterwards, and you're like, I can't listen to that dude again. He sucks.
I guess it's probably partially our fault because we shouldn't idolize anyone. I guess to that extent, you know.
Man, look, we're all the same at the end. We all bleed and we all die at the end of the day.
And nobody knows really what the fuck is going on. So nobody really knows what's going on.
No, that's it.
We're all just like making it up as we go along.
It's
fucking weird.
It is. It is. But that's life. That's the mystery of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mysteries of life.
Yeah.
I'm glad though that we have that history together.
Yeah.
Like I don't see myself in any other timeline, even though there's probably, in terms of a quantum mechanic thing, there's probably like 30 different lives I'm living.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you hear some people go, oh, I wish I was born in the 50s, or I would have caught all these cool bands. But then it's like, well, what about the offset of that? You know, you would have, I don't know, whatever, no internet or...
It's never all good.
There's a trade-off, you know, and you got to have a look at what's going on at the time and just be appreciative of it, you know. There's some awesome things happening now, you know. Yeah. Even though there's a lot of doom and gloom out there that you might see on the news, just switch the bloody thing off.
Yes. Oh, fuck yeah. There's a lot of things to be happy and grateful for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say a bit about the media as well, because especially with bands and musicians that we see, we only ever see a small sliver. We always get given, we look at them and we idolize off what we get seen.
Yep.
So we don't, there's like 80%, 90% of a life that we don't know. And we just see those small bits and we go, well, that must be the person.
That's exactly right.
And it's like, well, meh.
Yeah. Don't meet your idols.
But it is good. It is good when you meet some good people.
Totally,
I had the pleasure of touring Crowbar from New Orleans last year through the East Coast, and always idolized those guys and hung out with them for a week, and they were just amazing people. I think it's that Southern hospitality thing. You know, from the USA.
Totally.
They were just so down to earth and we just really bonded with those people. And so, you know, there's good stories as well. Just because, you know, you're playing massive shows doesn't mean that there's going to be a massive ego that goes along with it. And meeting those people and realizing they're actually better than you thought they are, and having some D&Ms. It's an amazing experience, you know.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's even more thrilling when you run into a band that they operate it like a well-oiled machine, and they are on board. Like all their crew members, their sound guys, they all take it super seriously. Yeah, with like surgical like precision, and
it's amazing to watch something like that. You know, it's just like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and to be privy to that, to sit back and just watch them work,
it's brilliant.
That can be the most inspiring thing. Like some of the most I get off on watching other bands go up on stage. I love watching people's pre-show ritual. Yeah, like just them gathering their thoughts and the team huddle, everything, the writing the set list, like, and when you see them work and you get inspired off that.
It's an amazing experience. You hang out with these dudes and you do your day-to-day thing, and then I don't know, you go to the zoo or something like that, do the Australian thing, and then it's just that mindset switch where, all right, now it's business time.
Time to work, And
then they just, deliver, and it's night after night, and it is amazing thing to watch bands do that.
Totally. And to see him problem solve and to work through issues and to go, okay, we don't have that, let's do this instead. And just working with what they got.
Exactly.
Some guys throwing up, some guy has diarrhea, whatever.
Yeah.
Like literally, these things happen on
tour.
Push
through and it just shows the professionalism of good bands, you know?
Everything that you like fear will happen always happens on tour.
Oh.
Whether it be gastro or just all this shit that never happens, just happens when you're fucking on tour.
Man, just things like delayed flights can be a massive issue as well. You know, you've got to be at a venue at, I don't know, whatever time it is, and then you've got a 2-hour flight delay, and then you're going straight to the venue, you've had no sleep, and just all those challenges. And when it's one after another, keeping that mindset positive can be a challenge.
Totally,
And then I mean, you get on stage and you deliver to a crowd and you get that energy going through you. And, seeing that happen, a crowd's connection to the band on the stage and that cyclical energy cycles is amazing thing to watch
it's like
as well.
A generator.
Yeah.
Energy.
It's brilliant. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys have played in bands and then you're seeing like an audience pumped up and that pumps you up. And then you're elevating the energy in the room, and it's almost a spiritual experience. You know,
it's kind of religious, like a church, it's like a big church. You know.
Well, that's it, man. I mean, I think that's the whole point of what churches used to be: getting in an area and elevating your consciousness.
Together,
to manifest what's in your mind. And I mean, that's kind of a thing that happens in shows.
Because I like to talk about the energy sync with bands.
Yep.
Whether in a jam room or on a stage, where there's always a point, either in a song or in a set, where every member just sort of clicks at the same time.
Yeah.
And you can just feel it. You actually feel it, and everyone knows it's happening as well.
Yep.
You just look at it. It's almost like you can't explain it.
Yeah,
I like to think we've all experienced that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know. I can't explain it.
It's like being in a moment where there is nothing else going in the world. It's just a timeless, experience, and you're just present in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I think it's very meditative, and I think when you experience the heights of meditation, it's the same feeling. It's the same goosebump feeling where you're like, it's the pure present moment.
Absolutely,
and
man.
That's all it is. And if you're a musician, you are meditating in a way. People go, oh, I don't get this whole meditating thing. Well, I fucking sit there on a cushion and go and it's like, but if you're a musician, you understand what it's like being in the pure present moment.
100%.
You already have it in you,
yeah.
But you think you don't because you don't meditate, but you already have it in you.
Yeah, look, talking about meditation, I've been getting into that recently. I've been doing sound meditation, which is amazing.
Binaural stuff?
Yeah, well, look, I tried one a short while ago where it was just gong meditation, and there's this massive gong going on, and this woman that had some amazing training just brought this gong alive, and she got the room to resonate with this tone, and the tone would you'd feel it. I mean, it's like you go to a dance festival or a metal show or something like that, and the bass is just pumping
vibrates.
you. Yeah. And you feel your body vibrating and stuff like that. It was like that with a gong, and it was amazing for an hour experience of that, and then bowls and things like that. Tibetan monks, all those dudes were doing it for centuries. There's a reason, and it's because
frequency, man. It's all frequency.
Connects with the energy that's inside you, and that's the same with good bands. You know, they can pull that off, and it is a meditative experience where you're connecting with that energy inside you, that consciousness, and that's deep. It's a good feeling. Yeah. You walk out, you're just buzzing, you're like fully energized. And that's the same with meditation. That's the same with a live show, you know, when you're connecting with something inside you, you know.
The amount of gigs, you know, you come home, you know, regardless of whether you play the gig or you watch the gig, you come home and you can't fucking sleep.
No, you're just pumped up on energy,
I've been, like, after shows, literally in bed, just staring at the ceiling and just buzzing, like literally my whole body is just buzzing.
No, that's tinnitus.
Well, there's that too, But no, honestly, like I can't sleep. Like I'm just restless, and I'm just on a high, a natural high.
And then you take it away with you for the rest of the week. You know, you've just been energized by it, and it's motivated you, and you take it away. And that's the same with the meditation thing. I've tried flotation meditation as well. There's this place called Beyond Rest, which is killer.
There's also Float Fremantle as well in Fremantle.
Really good. Yeah, I've been doing that, and you just go on this pod, and it's complete blackness, and you float there on this magnesium salt bath.
Is that like that sensory deprivation?
Yeah. Well, it sounds full on, but you have like this guided meditation thing going on, which just turns everything off for a little bit. And then you just switch off with nothing for 20 minutes. And in a world that's there's so much information going on all the time, and people are looking at screens and everything's coming at all these angles, it's nice just to switch off and just be with yourself, you know? And you know, you sometimes you just try to lay down in bed. You've had a massive day and you can't switch off because there's so much going on in your head. I think things like meditation or music or whatever it does it for you, that's not destructive like alcohol and drugs or whatever. I mean, it could be food. It could be just sitting in front of a TV and becoming, you know, a sloth in your time. But just putting some time for yourself and just connecting to yourself, switching off and going within goes a long way, I think.
And that's the thing. I mean, I think people demand too much about the idea of meditation. They look for results immediately.
Yeah.
They're like, why aren't I calm now? It's not working. And it's like, but think about it. If it made you 3% better.
Yeah.
You're able to mitigate issues just off that 3%. You're less likely to maybe stab someone or, you know, fly off the handle or just randomly jerk off.
Dude, it's...
No, it's true. I mean, because all these are frustrations.
I thought that was meditative.
Well, I mean, look, that's the thing, man. I mean, look, there's so much negative energy going on out there in the world. Yeah. And you've got to learn how to filter through that so it doesn't bring you down.
Totally, yeah.
And you've got to find the right thing that resonates with you, whether that's flotation meditation or gong or sound or whatever, or the mantras or whatever. But you know, I did the flotation meditation for the first time, and I left that place feeling charged, and everything just seemed clearer, and I didn't have that noise in my head of not tinnitus, but
the thoughts,
just the thoughts, and just being able to stop and going, hang on. Everything's not so noisy now, you know?
And it's actually, everything's not that bad.
Yeah, well,
I'm not that bad. Things are not as worse as I'm making it out to be.
That's it.
And I think, like I was saying before, if I'm 3% more likely, 3% less stressed, to me that's worth it. Even if it's a little bit, but people want the whole result. They go, well, I'm still angry, so it's not working.
Yeah, well, that's
it's like, well, no, you're maybe a little bit better, and it takes time. It's a slow burn.
They want results straight away. And, you know, everything's quick action. It's just like going to the gym. You know, I've been to the gym for 3 times, and I'm not looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, you know, it takes years.
But I also believe in economizing it, so you don't feel like you have to do it for an hour every day.
No.
Like you can do 5 minutes, like isn't this true about exercise as well?
Absolutely.
That 10 minutes consistently is better than blowing your guts out once a week, like on 2 hours of exercise, right?
It's just like practicing music. It's all about consistency. Even if you want to get better, just a little bit each day.
Just pick up the pen for 5 minutes and that's it. You don't need to do a whole 2, 3, 4 hours of whatever, you know.
It's you just got to be consistent so it becomes a part of you, you know. That's the same with the meditation. I mean, just stick at it, and you know, whatever, yoga, whatever you want to try, you know,
anything, whatever your flavor is.
Find something that's gonna work for you, and it's gonna help. And look, this stuff's been going on for thousands of years, and people are looking for a quick fix. And there's other alternatives to Western medicine. You know, people need to understand that.
Yeah.
Look, you can go to your GP and get a pill to do whatever the GP says, but there's other alternatives, you know.
You can do a medical marijuana consultation up in Subiaco.
Yeah, well,
hey,
I might have to get those details off you a bit later.
No, it's on the elevator. It's in the elevator wall outside Woolies and Subiaco. There's
Is that right?
The pharmacy does. I think it's $25 for a medical marijuana consultation from a licensed GP, like a proper hospital.
And look,
GP.
at the end of the day, that's a natural remedy from Mother Earth that you know, because it's not deemed legal by the government is an evil thing. But is it really? You know, I mean, just in this time frame, it's not legal. But you go back to another time and it was. So
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, if something like that is natural can be deemed illegal, but you get other prescription medication. I mean, what's the greater demon, really? You know,
only it's not real weed. It's all CBD. There's no THC.
Oh, stuff that then.
They seem to have a real issue with the psychoactive property. Yeah, they just they don't want people
and that's the
being
thing. You know, I don't want to be liable if someone flips out, and it's all going to. Some people, that it may not work for them. Some it does, and it's like the meditation thing or the alternative medicine. You got to find out what works for you. I mean, experience life. You know,
I mean, I am a big advocate for the legalization of cannabis, but I also understand absolutely it's not the solution for everything.
No,
it's not a wonder drug. But certainly the vilification and the demonization of it is definitely over the top.
Oh, 100%.
And I think even the most even someone that is not interested in consuming it at all, I think even they know that.
Yeah, look.
To lock someone up for a plant is really archaic. It's really old school.
Alcohol is legal, but marijuana isn't. You know, they're both drugs. You know, it's just controlling them, you know. And you could have too much alcohol, you can become an alcoholic, but because it's sold at Dan Murphy's or wherever it is, then that's okay. But it's not. You know, whatever you do, you got to do it in moderation, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what my dad used to tell me.
Legalize.
Yeah, I didn't say legalize cannabis.
Did you have anything else you wanted to plug real quick?
Hire some backline so I can buy some cannabis. No, just
what a plug! That is the best plug.
No, look, as I said.
Yeah,
might have to cut that one out.
No, we're leaving.
No, look, had a plug of the 3 shows. New band Twin Serpents coming out. Catan, a little bit quiet at the moment, but we're still working on stuff. A lot of good things going on out there. Stay positive, stay healthy, and that's about it.
Fuck yeah. Thank you so much, Brendon, for coming on.
Plepleasure.
It's good to catch up with you again.
Oh my god.
Thanks, lads.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I'm glad we stuck it out and booked a date, but
man, all the good things are worth the wait.
Oh, totally.
You know.
And let's not make it the last time. You're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Thanks, man.
We're gonna get our asses into gear and plug some shit and re-engage and reinvigorate ourselves. I think now is the perfect time to do it.
Share Bertie's art too.
Yes, we will. Yes, shout out to Bertie Louise for the amazing artwork. Rest in peace, Van Halen. Stay cool, I guess.
Just stay happy, stay positive.
Stay happy,
positive.
people. There's a lot of good things on out there.
Yes, feel the energy.
Yeah.
Mission Control. Thank you for listening, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.